Martina Dwivedi and Miss Kellie Mason for All Views Matter QIP to increase patient feedback from patients who cannot provide feedback in English. If you guys want to start whenever you're ready.
Thank you. So our project, All Views Matter, it focuses on increasing the feedback that we get from non-English speaking patients. It's giving them the opportunity to feedback on their care, and for us, it gives a chance to improve the care that we provide. We know that patients who don't speak English well report greater barriers to accessing healthcare. They have poorer patient outcomes, and they are more likely to be in poorer health. This is supported by the recent Embrace report, which looks into why mothers die. That highlights an increased maternal mortality rate for Black women and Asian women. So improving the contraception and sexual health care would mean helping them to optimize their health so that any pregnancy for these patients would be safer. Next slide, please. In the sexual health services, we identified that non-English speaking patients were unable to feedback in their preferred language, as all the patient feedback forms were in English. So to address this, we set off on a quality improvement project where we aim to increase the feedback received from these patients from 0% to 5% by June 2023. We identified the 6 most commonly requested languages for interpretation throughout our whole hospital trust and translated the family and friends feedback forms into those 6 languages. We then focused on raising awareness of the translated feedback forms amongst our patients and staff. And an example is the poster that you can see on this slide. Next slide, please.
So through the use of Facebook, Twitter and our internal trust communications, we were able to raise awareness of our project, and further interventions such as a mezzanine event and designer feedback station competition were also used to engage staff with the process. So the mezzanine event, which was held in the main thoroughfare of the hospital, was an opportunity to survey both staff and patient views. And from this event, it became apparent that further work around staff engagement was needed. So using QI methodology, along with engaging senior leadership teams, it enabled us to target our approach. And the run chart that you can see shows the increase in feedback received each time we put an intervention in place. And the translated forms have been well received by patients, and the feedback that we've received actually reflects this. And our project...
That's your time there.
Okay.
Okay, and on to 3 minutes with Claire.
Thank you very much. Thank you both. I'll just look into Elka in the chat. So she said a very important issue, ensuring that patient voice is heard and informed service delivery through feedback. Can you say a little bit more about your next steps?
Yeah, so our project's actually opened up wider conversations within the trust around sort of accessible information standards and the way that we sort of have patients who don't speak English as the first language access services. We've done process mapping across the sexual health service, and we've realised actually it's not just feedback. We're actually failing these patients at every point of contact. So it's actually started out as a feedback project, and it's kind of grown legs over its time.
Fantastic, thank you. I love your run charts. Like, beautiful number of data points. You've got some lovely, the way you've annotated it, the way you can see the step changes, some really lovely things. Just a quick question, they ran kind of on your poster with the PDSA cycle. It's not very clear to read what you've actually done within that PDSA cycle. Can you just talk me through one of your PDSA cycles about what you learnt in that?
So there's a couple of PDSA cycles on that poster, and the very first one just relates to how we got started. So identifying the languages that are requested most for interpretation throughout the trust, then going through the process of getting those forms translated into those languages, and then disseminating those forms. Because it's a wide geographic area that the sexual health services covers, the biggest challenge was trying to make sure that they were disseminated in every area, and we were embedding the use of these forms in each area. And I think that was one of our biggest challenges, is because it is patchy and you're trying to convince a huge team to get on board with this change management project.
Thank you. That's fantastic. And again, very nice, clear, very clear aim, very smart aim. And you know, I think you very clearly articulated the impact and the importance of doing this, which was really nice. I guess just again a reflection, like I feel like I'm saying the same as before, that there is an element, I guess, in that what you've just described is some of that is defining that problem in terms of those languages, but the rest of that absolutely PDSA and that understanding kind of, you know, how you make it effective and taking that forward. So I think that's it from me. But yeah, thank you very much. I don't know if anyone else has got any other questions. But keep doing it because it's a fantastic piece of work, and absolutely we cannot, in terms of our health inequalities, and if we're not even getting feedback from people from all areas, how on earth can we improve our services? So great piece of work. Thank you. Very clearly articulated.
Thank you very much.